This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, October 8th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, and Lindsay. I am Tori. Hi, guys.
Hey, Tori. What's going on, girl?
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, I feel good.
I feel good, too. Let's get right into it.
All right.
All right. Can you be friends with someone who doesn't share the same beliefs as you?
No.
That's what we're asking after Ellen DeGeneres was spotted hanging out with former President George W. Bush at the Dallas Cowboys football game. Social media lost its mind. And now Ellen is defending Bush
In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that that's okay, that we're all different. But just because I don't agree with someone on everything doesn't mean that I'm not going to be friends with them. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people that think the same way that you do. I mean be kind to everyone.
So, interesting topic. If you didn't know, Bush was famous for trying to have a constitutional amendment to ban same-sex marriages. So, a lot of people felt this was a betrayal of sort of a gay icon like Ellen to George W. Bush. I protested the Bush inauguration. I really thought he stole the election. But I have grown to really like how he's evolved. What do you guys think?
I definitely think that there's merit there because she's been an advocate for this community in such a loud way, and that's important, an important cause. But I think that you also have to understand that she's also friends with Jenna and his other daughter, and his other daughter did campaign in New York for gay marriage. And so you have a dichotomy where you have an entire family and you're sitting there like, okay, are you not going to like somebody's father who has old school ways that doesn't agree with what you think now? And who's to say that Bush hasn't evolved? He intentionally stayed out of politics. He was on her show in 2017. Yeah. He danced his way to the stage. You know, it just seems very interesting that people can't be friends but also disagree about specifically politics.
And it's like, are you going to have a problem with Michelle Obama for the handshake that she had with George Bush and all? But I'm on the fence with this one because this is called At the 50. It's a thing with Cowboys games. Jerry Jones's daughter, she's in charge of that box, and she tries to bring in and invite a real diverse crowd. Now, it's a networking event for a lot of people, and like you said, he's been on the show. There seems to be friends. She just said it, that they're friends. I don't know why people at home or people on Twitter and social media feel as though that this person that's supposed to be the gay icon or LGBTQ or maybe the black icon is supposed to use a venue like this to go and be like, hey, in 2004, you tried to push this amendment. That just looks stupid. And you're not going to get that point across there. So I don't understand why people what do people expect her to do, Al, in that moment?
I don't know if people, I think people always think that you are the voice of something. Mm-hmm. You are the face of this movement at all times.
Right.
Sometimes you're just Ellen sitting next to George.
At a football
and I think a
game,
lot of people are like that because let's take these two strangers, these two people that you'll never know and never meet, and let's take it for all the people that had an issue with them talking. What about your uncles that you disagree with? Yeah. Do you still break bread with them at Thanksgiving? Do you still love your dad even though he said something silly about women wearing pants 10 years ago and has evolved?
Exactly.
It's like, can people get better? And also, I would make the argument that George Bush and Ellen have more in common than Ellen does with any other person that agrees with her ideologically because they're both in the 1%.
Right. Yeah.
They talk about where they're going to summer, what they're going to do with their houses in Santa Barbara,
it's a totally different
where they're going to park their yacht in the Mediterranean.
Right.
Y'all ain't talking about that at the 50?
No, I'm not.
And who knows?
I'm like, where's the beer?
Exactly.
And who knows what charity or what programs that those two talked about that were like, hey, you know, we had a good time. We had a couple beers at the Cowboys. Cowboys lost that game, by the way. We had a couple beers. Now let's talk next week and seeing how we can help the LGBTQ community.
Well, DBL Nation, let us know if you think you can be friends with someone who differs wildly from you.
Go Giants.
All right. Good ending on that. Well, the FBI needs your help. They're trying to identify.
We always look to Brandon for the button.
We always do. This is crazy. They're trying to identify this man's victims. His name is Samuel Little. You might not have heard of him yet, but you will. He is now America's most prolific serial killer. He confessed to strangling 93 victims between 1970 and 2005. Here is Samuel Little himself describing one of his victims to authorities.
Then this opportunity popped up. Take her to the store.
Right.
Instead of me bringing her back to the apartment, I went down 27th Street. So I got her out of the car, pulled her out, and drug her into the ropes back there. I turned her loose, and she fell into it face down.
So if you didn't know, he mostly targeted women who are sex workers so no one would notice them, mostly black women. And he was a professional, or a boxer, not professional, and he would punch them to get them unconscious and then strangle them to death. So how does someone kill almost 100 people and get away with it for decades?
Because we don't have the forensics that we had back then. You know, back
no
in the
one
day.
noticed? There was 93 women missing?
He was a nomad. He lived a nomadic
he was killing
lifestyle.
Black girls.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Poor black girls, and nobody's checking for them. I mean,
that's the answer.
We can sit here and talk about. I mean, just off the top of my head, you can think about the Elizabeth Smarts and you know, who's the girl?
Jimmy Close.
Yes, but the one down in the Bahamas.
Kloss.
No, whatever her name.
Yeah.
But you know, we know the names of younger white girls that disappear. We don't know the ones, the younger black girls. I only know of one that I can name off the top of my head. So it just tells you go after the people that aren't being looked for.
Blacks and transgendered,
Right.
marginalized people. No one
Prostitutes.
Ends up, no one ends up looking for them.
When you start killing college kids and things and rich people, they start looking for
Well,
them.
it's not funny that you said that. It's ironic that you said that because we kind of said the same thing with R. Kelly. He was allowed to get away with it so long because the marginalized people were young black women.
Right.
You know, so I can see why you say that. But I think that's why in rape and sexual assault cases, first thing you hear a prosecutor or a DA detective, they're like, is the victim credible? Is the victim credible? Does this person have some sort of merit to them?
But it is interesting that 93 women went missing and no one noticed for decades. And I think we should bring up that I think it is because they were marginalized, transgendered, and black women.
Right. And he's serving 3 consecutive sentences of life, so he's probably like, well, what
I've nothing
I can
to
tell
lose.
you now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you've got to see this crazy video from a hot air balloon festival. It's a super famous one in New Mexico. It did not end well. A balloon's gondola caught fire, trapping the pilot and passenger while they had to go to the hospital. And another balloon missed its landing, got caught in wires, and crashed to the ground. Finally, I can't believe this, a third balloon nearly got hung up in a tree. The basket broke through before crashing to the ground, but the balloon got stuck in yet another tree. Authorities had to use a giant ladder to get the balloon free. Are we over hot air balloons?
Can I tell you guys?
What's going on?
I was harassing Colin to go to this year.
Colin, your boyfriend.
Yes, I was harassing him to go to this, and he said, "Listen, you get on my nerves. We can go, but I'm not getting in a hot air
It is
balloon."
the dumbest
and this is
thing
like
in the world.
best vindication that he can see is why he would never do that.
Who puts
I thought
a
it was
wicker,
cool.
You put a wicker basket with flames and no steering and no landing. You're like, cool, go
I don't
for
like
it.
sitting on wicker furniture on the ground, much less being in the air. Like, it's really just,
It's
I'm
the
tired.
weirdest thing.
I don't like that
I
we still have to
know. Guys,
have you
pander
seen
to
the
outdated
pictures?
modes of transport. I don't want to be on a paddle boat.
No,
I don't
this
want to
is
be
not
on a steamship.
romantic
I don't
at
want it.
all.
So
It's beautiful. Have you seen the you've been, right?
I've been, I threw up because I got altitude sickness.
Well, that's not what you see when you look online. This is the experience
I
that people
see
have.
the video we just shown now, Lindsay.
Well, I didn't.
Do you-
Excuse me. I have to
wanna
rethink
go?
about next year. I
you still wanna
actually
go?
still do want to go. I won't get in the hot air balloon, but I
All
still
right,
do.
well, fine. I'm going to ask that in DBL Nation. Does anyone now still want to go after
Are you
seeing
going to
those
let
videos?
Lindsay get away with the fact that we just showed 3 of those things exploding, and she's like, I'm still in. What?
Well, let's see if Lindsay's good at
cutting them out of the trees.
A scam, because this, it turns out, Alec Baldwin was scammed out of hundreds of dollars while trying to visit the Statue of Liberty. He posted this to Instagram talking about how he bought tickets for a Statue of Liberty tour, only to find out it was for a bus tour of New Jersey. Needless to say, he wasn't happy. So I got really badly scammed.
How?
I was trying to be an actress in New York in 2004, and I went to the Empire State Building, and they were like, we need headshots from you. And all you have to do is go to the ATM in this building and get out
pay?
$250 and then give it to us, and you can go have that portfolio photo. So I did it, and I went, and I told my boyfriend at the time, and we went back, and they were in costume leaving. Their office, they always leave in disguises, like mustaches and stuff. So we called the cops, and like 4 or 5 other people were there, and we tried to get him out. But no, I got scammed bad. Have you ever been scammed?
I would say not like that. That's super embarrassing.
It wasn't me, Sheen.
It was bad.
You know what confuses me? Alec Baldwin is from New York, and if you know New York is the capital of scams.
Yes.
I'm sorry, like subway scams, everything scams. Everywhere you walk, somebody's trying to sell you fake Broadway tickets. So for you to get scammed, this is a
It's a
tragedy.
little embarrassing.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Remember people, the little vendors would sell like CDs. Like, hey man, here's my mixtape, here's my mixtape. I thought I was helping out, you know, up and coming artist. Gave them like $5-10, even tipped them, went home.
No music
Blank.
on there.
Nothing. No music.
Well, you paid money for a CD.
Yeah,
You
I'll
can
take it.
dub
A
over.
Blank
take it.
round
They were like a
circle.
penny.
That's what you want. You know what's interesting though, but I think what's interesting what this says is that anyone can be scammed. I mean, even people from New York who are just going to see the Statue of
I'm
Liberty.
just like, why would I lived in New York 5 years. The Statue of Liberty never crossed my mind.
Ever.
He was
Why
taking
are
his
you
children.
doing?
It's a nice thing to see.
It's
when you're
freezing out there. No.
in the summer. Oh, well, right now it's not the summer.
Pictures. It looked cold in those pictures.
All right, we want to know your scam stories because I bet they're good. DBL, we are live, and coming up, Star Trek star Zachary Quinto is back. And
This was an
pitches
awesome interview.
about the possibility of teaming up with Quentin Tarantino in the future. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. The new Joker movie features an iconic song by a convicted pedophile. And you can imagine some people are very offended. Your comments, they're coming up next.
scams. Brandon, have you ever gotten scammed?
This just, I think
For the
just
CD
that
thing.
whole that CD thing, you know.
I got
Other
scammed
than
before.
that-
I hate to admit it, but I was in Philly and someone did that trick where you
Oh,
pick which
the
one.
shell game?
Yeah, the balls under.
Family.
And I thought I was gonna win. I wanted to double my Christmas spending money.
Oh.
I just bought
How much did you?
I don't want to talk
much
about
did
it.
you
I
put
can't
down?
admit it on
I
camera.
have a friend that got taken
I'll
for
never
all
buy
his
shoes
money,
again
his
for
Christmas
free.
money with the shell game.
I don't love shoes,
It was
but
at
I
the
thought
mall
they
in
were
Cleveland. These guys.
You got him.
And I called my dad in tears, and he said, "How dumb are you? You're from New York." So I have to give Alec Baldwin the same kind of energy
I mean,
because
I guess I kind of got scammed when I was trying to plan a trip with my ex-girlfriend to Niagara Falls, and this thing said it
You see
clicked
me,
on
like, turn like this?
whole
Be like,
package
I
for
don't care
Niagara
what you're
Falls, and so
saying.
like I was very like not savvy in terms of planning stuff at this point, and I clicked on it, I bought it, and I realized it was the New York State side of Niagara Falls, not the Canada side. So it was just like
trying really hard
a
to get that view.
city. There was no falls. It was just called Niagara Falls, New York, but there was no
Was this
falls.
supposed to be romantic though? Like,
Niagara
who goes to
Falls.
Niagara Falls.
In Taboo, it's Niagara Falls is the #1 place for a honeymoon.
Yeah, made of the mist. Yeah.
And I cheated because I read the answers and I just called Niagara Falls and everybody I was playing with was like,
Cheated.
So
"You do not think Niagara Falls is the #1 honeymoon?"
So you're a cheater that wants to go in a hot air balloon.
What do you think is the #1? I don't think Vegas.
Vegas for honeymoon.
Vegas for a honeymoon?
Regular people?
Yeah.
They can afford like a quick trip.
Like
Florida?
Hawaii, maybe
No,
Hawaii.
Hawaii is stupid expensive.
Maybe Disney World.
Like insane.
Facade or VO?
No,
But Disney
all-inclusive
World's
in the whole
expensive. If you're like,
island.
we were both doing okay, we only got $2,000 to spend for our honeymoon, which I think is a decent amount.
You don't
can
think
go
like
to Vegas,
Florida,
get a
like
suite
Keys?
for 2 nights and like rip it
Is
up.
there anything in there about
What?
Like Florida Keys?
If you're 78 years old.
Yeah, but don't you gotta fly into Miami, rent a
Yeah,
car,
the Keys are far.
drive.
The Keys are 2 hours.
That's too much travel time.
Yeah, so the song will just.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. So the blockbuster film Joker also has controversial ties to a convicted child molester. Okay, during a major scene in the movie, a popular song plays that we all know the words to, but what many of us did not know is it's by glam rocker Gary Glitter, who is also a convicted pedophile. The song you hear is Rock and Roll Part 2, better known as the Hey Song. We're playing it right here so you guys can hear it during sporting events. So, DBL Nation, does this controversial song further impact how you view this film? And I want to be clear, they play 2 minutes of it in the most controversial scene, and he will get royalties from jail, which he's currently serving for attempted rape of 13-year-old. Go ahead.
So Katrine from Twitter says, if you go to see Joker knowing that they've included a track by Gary Glitter, you are knowingly financially supporting a pedophile. So just think about that. And I just saw the movie yesterday, and so I was unaware of like the song's origins and what was going on with Gary. So therefore, now that I know, I think that the studio could have picked a much better out of 1,000 songs that would have gone with that moment. But in the moment, watching the movie yesterday, I thought it was an amazing time for that song to come on, and just poignant moment for me to understand what was going on through this crazy person's mind.
That song did not go with that part.
I completely disagree.
Wait, who took you to the movies yesterday?
My boyfriend.
And who?
You also attended as a third wheel. You attended as a third wheel. So
was my
took me
idea.
would mean that you paid. But carry on. Carry on.
You got me there. Danny from Facebook, Danny from Twitter says, so I guess people should never get a second chance or be able to make a living at all once they break the law. It's just, you have to understand the backstory of the Joker. You have to, and they talk about this in the movie, spoiler, but he was abused as a child, right? So why would we have the music of a pedophile playing during, like we said, one of the most controversial moments? In 2012, Penn State, they don't play Sweet Caroline anymore because of the whole Sandusky thing.
But isn't it also, and I'm just playing the other side here and go for it, Al, after, a genius idea to play the idea of someone who is child abused going into madness down the stairs from a child abuser song. Now, I agree that's a controversial statement. Go ahead, Al.
All right, Carly from Twitter says, the song just fit. That's why it was picked. Nothing more, nothing less. Carly, I love the fact that we can talk a lot about things like this on the show, but I don't know if you're making a blockbuster film like this, if that much thought went into it. I think we might have been. You think so? Do you think this was on purpose?
20 reviews before a movie gets approved.
And it's a 2-minute full song.
I don't know, but if that's true, I mean, we're talking about it, and that's the only way. How do you get people to leave their homes and go do stuff? You have to talk about it. You have to make it controversial. That's why people retire right before they drop an album or start an argument with another artist to get to drum up interest. So it kind of worked.
This is a great comment from Marcos. He says from YouTube, on one hand, this is sick, just like you guys said, right? On the other hand, though, it's genius because it was all very calculated, as if it was planned by the Joker himself. This proves that our society is drawn to controversy. I think this was all satirical, and I think it's him running down the staircase, turning into madness from an abuser as he goes to abuse the system. I think it's all satirical. However, I don't like that Gary Glitter is getting money from it. That's the one thing.
I didn't think you could make money from jail.
When he gets out in 2021, he will get a lump sum for this.
It was right after he found all that stuff out, so I can see why this could be calculated.
But I can also see how that's controversial.
Interesting.
All right, well, Matt Lauer is back on screen. Oy vey. Well, sort of. Raquel, what's going on?
Well, Tori, Matt Lauer really hasn't been seen since he was fired from the Today Show 2 years ago. But now he's making an appearance of sorts in his daughter's social media videos. Take a look. Now, in one video, you can see him doing a dance matching his daughter. And then he's going to do a lip-syncing video over a bowl of cereal. Now, these videos are on the site TikTok. It's an app that plays short videos, but he may not be dancing as much soon because next week, Ronan Farrow is planning to release an explosive new book about the former news anchor.
What are you doing, Matt Lauer?
He should just lay low.
He
should just lay low, but he also still has a family to take care of. So
you
would
don't
play
go on
with your daughter.
TikTok and make a fool of yourself? That's ridiculous.
Do you think he's making a fool of himself?
I think he looks stupid. It looks like he doesn't understand or feels.
Do you think he hasn't already done that though? I mean, where else can he go?
Low.
I think he has been.
I hope he stays low. All right, coming up on DBL, actor Zachary Quinto gives us a behind-the-scenes scoop of the hit History Channel show In Search of.
I'm with you.
Are you?
Talking about Matt Lauer, yeah. I think that on the one hand, it could be to show that maybe people will start to have empathy, look at him like a dad again, and somebody who dances with their kid doing normal dad stuff. But on the other hand, I would say just be quiet and lay low in this moment because it's a really
Lindsay,
tough
Zoe Rose
time.
says, leave Matt Lauer alone. He's just being a dad. I just wanted to make sure you heard that.
He wasn't like planning to be on. He didn't think we were going to put it on TV. He just was playing with his daughter.
I think he's a TV. He needs the attention.
No, TikTok though is not the route.
It's
You
not
know it
good.
is. It's going crazy on
kids,
But look at the fifth.
Matt Lauer.
Remember the fifth host comment I read when Danny was like, "So people shouldn't get a second chance or be able to make a living after they break
He
the law."
hasn't even gone to prison for all the things he's done
But he still
wrong.
has a family, and I'm not trying to condone anything that Matt Lauer done. I'm not an ally.
I think we can talk about this without you having to say that. I should hope that you don't.
But you.
I know you do.
But you know what I mean.
tirade
You know
of
what I mean.
comments.
It's like, oh, look at Brandon sticking up for
It's a
this
weird place to be
guy.
on Instagram when you're convicted on your daughter's. But TikTok goes to Instagram. You know they post it on Insta all the time. I just think it's weird.
But even like the daughters still have a dad, right?
Right. Welcome back to DBL. Actor Zachary Quinto is taking on another season of the hit series In Search of. Earlier, I talked with him about his favorite mystery from the show and the rumors about Quentin Tarantino working on the next Star Trek film. Check it out in today's Chatting with the Stars. Zachary Quinto, welcome to DBL. I can't wait to talk to you about the new season of In Search Of, but first, I just wanted to thank you. You might not remember, but last time you were on here, I mentioned how much your character Spock in Star Trek meant to my mom, who is very, very ill.
So please tell your mom that, I send her a lot of good wishes and wish her the best and thank her for, being such a fan of the world, because we love when we can bring comfort to people. That's so important, and I'm sorry to hear she's going through that, but sending her a lot of good love.
That means a lot. Thank you. So I just wanted to thank you again, because we watch it a lot and cry over you, so thank you.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
And thank you. Speaking of Star Trek, there are some rumors that Quentin Tarantino could be attached to the next film in the franchise. What do you think about this?
I would certainly be open to the idea of working with him. I think he's a genius, and I think he would bring a whole new point of view and experience to the franchise.
I agree. Now let's talk In Search Of. The new season tackles everything from aliens to artificial intelligence. What do you think was your absolute favorite?
It's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
I remember from the original series being absolutely terrified of the Bermuda Triangle, so that episode and revisiting that was kind of fascinating to me.
Yeah. I'm curious about your role in Nosferatu. You get some wild prosthetics to play with your character with. What's the longest you've had to sit in the chair to have this done? Do you know?
I do know. It's about 4.5 hours.
Shut up.
But it's great. It's a good experience. I love all the people that I work with, so it makes it easier.
Now, this is not an insult, but you're really good at playing creepy characters. Some even say you would make a great Batman villain. Why do you think this is, and is it the cool eyebrows?
I don't know what it is. I'm interested in exploring other territory, though, after I'm done with this show, so we'll see where the road takes me.
What kind of stuff would you want to do? Would you ever look into doing comedy, lighter stuff, or are you looking into more darker stuff?
Yeah, I'm just open to different kinds of storytelling, and Nosferatu for me was a real return to experiences that I think people are excited when I tackle, but I'm interested in tackling other things as well.
Long live and prosper. Thank you, Zachary Quinto. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, love.
Thanks.
So he was not enthralled because I said long live and prosper, and I know it's live long and prosper. So as a Trekkie, I walk around in shame. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Welcome back to DBL. In 1968, McDonald's hot apple pie hit menus nationwide and forever changed many people's lives. All right, that's going a bit far, or at least their fast food orders. Well, I took on the iconic dessert in today's copycat kitchen. Enjoy. Take your ready-made puff pastry and cut it into thirds. Portion out the apple pie filling on half. You can use your knife to create 2 diagonal cuts on the other half of the pastry. Wet the edges to secure a seal. Fold the pastry over itself and then use a fork to create this cute little seam. Brush an egg wash on the pastry. Sprinkle a little cinnamon and sugar for a sweet treat. Now the only thing left to do is to see if my co-host can tell the copycat from the original. All right, so the next step is just to have the people test the baked apple pie. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Exhibit A.
Can you give me a little smaller piece? But that's
Okay,
good. That's really good.
Okay, and now we're going to option B. You ready? So as you're chewing, I want you to think, which one is the copycat and which one is real?
That was good.
Okay.
But the only reason I'm going with that this is the real one,
Right.
and the B was fake.
Yeah.
The first one was a little crunchier.
A little crunchier. Okay.
I don't even know what that means, though. That could be the real fake
You
one.
look ridiculous in that mask. Next up, we have Stephanie. Nice girl. All right, ready? Open the mouth, and we have Exhibit A.
Oh, wow, big.
It's a big one. I didn't mean that. It's a lot. Sorry. Now we're gonna give you. Ready?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, it's very large. I'm very sorry. Which one is real? Which one is the copycat?
I think the second one is the copycat.
Last up, we have Erica Cobb with their copycat kitchen. Exhibit A, Erica, go ahead and open. Oh, she's like, please don't feed me. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, again, I want you to digest, think about, slowly. Which one's the copycat, Erica, if you had to make a choice?
The first one.
Interesting. You can remove the mask. We tricked one. Erica Cobb, the copycat, was number 2.
I'm shocked.
I know, she seems it. Well, head over to dailyblastlive.com/recipes for all the copycat recipes. And let us know, guys, what classic dish you want us to feature on the next Copycat Kitchen. We'll be right back.
They're both very good.
They were delicious. I've had 5. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments, Albert.
All right. This is Henry on Facebook talking about Ellen. He says, I don't get why people are upset. Politics aside, these people are celebrities, like Al said, talking about their properties and vacations. And when I read this comment, I thought it said, these people are celebrities like Al. And I was like, damn right. Oh, okay.
I was like, slow your roll.
That comma. Okay, and our girl Naomi says, speaking about Matt Lauer, Matt just needs to stay in hiding. The last place he should be is on his daughter's IG.
I agree with him.
That seems weird. Do you agree?
No, I think he's just being a dad.
Okay, Brandon?
Yeah, I think he's just being a dad.
I think he's an attention needer.
There you go. Way to catch that one.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking about the hot air balloon, Tuscany. What a great name.
Ooh.
Makes me hungry for some reason.
Ooh, like pasta and ragu.
Like a little Olive Garden.
barbecue.
Tuscany on Twitter says, I will never step foot in a hot air balloon now. I hope everyone is okay. What a horrible thing. It's such a cool event. So we're looking at you.
Reporting live.
I need to go home, sit with it, think about my choices for next year. But I am interested. There's a huge one in Turkey also that I'm really interested in.
See you it'll be
Thinking
real
about
safe
that
there.
insurance
That'll be great.
too.
We'll see you same time, same place. We hope she'll be here tomorrow. Bye, guys.